Now I'm going to say something that I never thought I would say in my life. Go Alabama. It hurts to say. But I got to add in Georgia, and Missouri, and Mississippi, and Ohio, and a number of other states that are all trying to do the right thing today. Look, Alabama, of course, is the most prominent among them in the news. They've signed into law a bill that makes abortion completely illegal, except in cases where the mother's life's at stake or in which a baby is called a lethal anomaly, which means it ain't going to survive outside the womb. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, over 250 bills have been filed in 41 states this year, all attempting to place restrictions on abortion. You know why? Because common sense and statistics, they show that 93% of all abortions are for convenience and extreme birth control. Folks, if the Hollywood celebrities want to keep playing yakety-yak online on this topic, then I am too. And if you feel the need to unfollow me, then leave quietly. This ain't the airport. You don't have to announce your departure. The tide is turning, and I say, roll damn tide. Ooh, it hurts my tongue to say it. How many of you out there are probably with me in seeing this as a cause to celebrate? Because I see you out there shooting cheese whiz in your mouth, dancing around the kitchen in your sock feet to Bob Seger on the lowest volume setting, because that's how we pro-life people party. We're actually parents. But a woman, you say, has a right to choose what she does with her body. Look here, Golden Corral. We can all see what choices you've done with your body. No, these legislative moves aren't going to single-handedly end abortion, and they're not even going to overturn Roe v. Wade, most likely. But you got to admit, if you're with me, it's a big step in the right direction, and like me, you can see why. But maybe some of you are still on the fence. You know, those of you out there that say, it's a fetus, it isn't a baby, and might reckon, oh my, why don't you slam yourself down on that fence you're riding a little bit harder so you're less likely to impregnate somebody? The others among you may recognize that an unborn child is a human being, but you're not as worried about those little babies because they're not human enough to be worth a woman having to carry them to term when she gets pregnant. It's you folks I really want to talk to today. Look here. See, this isn't the first time in our illustrious history as a country that we've had a little problem trying to understand the equality and worth of humanity. A few hundred years ago, science told us that some people were less human than others, and the prevailing winds of thought in the scientific community held that people who hailed from Africa were a lower form of human, and in some writings of the time, they were considered a different species of human altogether. Now, this just happened to coincide with the point in history where black slavery was thriving around the world, and it was an awfully damn convenient thing to be able to use when you wanted to say, for example, that a black person in the American colonies only counted as 3/5 of a human being. Now, obviously, we understand that that was completely, insanely, utterly, stupidly, criminally wrong. Yeah, the God all you atheists out there pray to, beautiful, sweet, holier than thou, special science was wrong. But look here, Democrat, didn't stop people from believing it. No, just like today it doesn't stop people from buying into the idea that an unborn child that has its own unique DNA, its own sex independent of its mother, and its own individual personality that will form if you'll let it, doesn't stop them from believing that's not a human being in there. That's a bunch of BS, folks. And if you can just be honest enough to recognize that simple fact that that clump of cells inside that womb isn't going to grow up to be a carrot or a ham sandwich or a weed eater, it's going to be another one of us beautiful images of God wandering around this big old blue marble of earth. You can be that honest, do it. Then you can be honest enough to admit that the fact that there's even a debate about all of this is a sad testament to another failure of science and a failure of our human heart. Science had to change its understanding of humanity before, and it's going to have to do it again one of these days. But meanwhile, be glad for the victories in these states, folks, and let's hope and pray they keep pushing upward, onward, forward, so that one of these days when somebody digs up my dead, crusted, dry-ass, ashy bones, they're going to say, this is one of those Americans. The other guy with him doesn't wrinkle his nose and say, those guys were jackasses. Good riddance. Let's not be barbarians. Let's not be barbarians. That's a hard thing to say, Willie. You say it. You say it. Huh? Can anybody even sing? Is he back there? Hey, Willie, tell him bye. Give him a Facebook poke. I love y'all. God bless. Willie, give him a Facebook poke. Come on. Maybe. Give him a poke, Willie.